English Language Testing System, IELTS Speaking Module. Test Center, British Language Club, and IELTS Center, Kajla Motihar, Rajshahi. Tell me your full name.
Good afternoon, sir. My full name is Mahima Agarwsla.
Can I see your ID?
Yeah, here it is. And the ID number is 2345607.
Okay. Now we are going to start part 1 of our speaking test. Tell me something about your residence.
Okay, as I am born and brought up in Bharamara, which is in Kushtia district in Bangladesh, and it is the west part of Bangladesh and situated beside the river Gorai. As I live in Bharamara and I belong to a joint family where we live there with my parents, my uncle, aunts, and cousins, and total there are 17 members in my family. And the surroundings are very much beautiful because it is a natural place, a small town, but we can get a free and fresh air there. And the locations, the accommodation, the roads, the foods are very good there. And I have also completed my 12th standard from there, and the education system is also good, I can say. And after that, I went to complete my higher education outside, but until my 12th standard, I was in my home district.
Okay. Why are you doing IELTS?
Okay, just as I told, I have completed my graduation and it was done in University of Calcutta from India, and I want to do my masters from abroad because I can do it from Bangladesh also, but everyone know that as our country is a small country and the population is huge here, so the people of our country, the students, don't get enough chance to study and get a good job here. So I want to complete my masters there, and as per requirement, the universities require the IELTS score. So I have to get a IELTS score. After that, I can get admitted myself in a university abroad.
Okay. How will you maintain your expenditure in abroad?
I can say at first I am fully dependent on my parents because I am unemployed and I don't do any kind of jobs, and I don't have that much opportunity to spend to have money from by myself, and but I will try to get a part-time job after arriving to abroad. And also I am trying to get a good IELTS score so that I can achieve a scholarship, so which don't affect my parents a lot, and I don't want to give them a headache. So, but at first I need to depend on themselves, on them, obviously.
What did you study in history lessons when you were at school?
Actually, there are so many subjects in school life because in that time we need to study all the subjects, including our maths, biology, history, English, grammar books, Bengali, everything. But one of them is history, obviously, and I love to know, study about the country, the history of our country, because the main part of history book was that time the history of our country, and obviously it's a good part because we should know the history of our country, including the liberation war, the war of 1952, 1969, 1972, and more on.
Okay. How often do you watch TV programs about history now?
If I speak honest, I don't get that much time to study watch any TV programs because I have to spend a lot of time in my study, and as I have completed my study from outside and there was no TV in that place. But yeah, but when I get time and the opportunity, or I'm interested to watch any programs regarding history, I watch the TV programs in my mobile phone or in my laptop.
Okay. What period in history would you like to learn about more?
I can say I want, as I'm a citizen of Bangladesh, I want to know more about my country. If I get that chance, I would like to learn about more about the culture, the tradition, which was before the liberation war of our country. I want to know that part. I would like to know that part because that also a significant part of our country. And the people who sacrifice their lives for our country. So I would like to know about themselves also.
Let's move on to the next part. In part 2, you will get a cue card and you will have to speak non-stop 2 minutes. At first, I am giving you 1 minute to take some notes. Here is your cue card. A pen. Sorry.
Okay.
Shall we start? Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, we have learned many things nowadays, and there are so many things we are not aware but need to learn, which are very difficult to us. One of them, I recently succeeded in a gaming computer, mainly assembled a gaming computer. My brother is a gamer and he had always interest in gaming computer, so he always wanted to buy a computer which has a good processors. So in his 18th birthday, he asked my parents to a gaming computer as a present, but everyone knows that a gaming computer has a high budget, so it's quite tough to my parents to give him that computer. And at first he was very sad, but then he understood the situation. But I felt very bad for him, as he wanted it as a birthday present. So I took advice from my friends that what I should do. Then they advised me that I should buy the computer parts separately, so that I can assemble them and can create a gaming computer which is much cheaper than a brand new computer. But as I am a student of food and nutrition, a biology related subject, so I didn't have that much knowledge about the computer and their hardwares. So I started reading a book related to computer hardware and how to access of a gaming computer. And I also started watching videos in YouTube which are related to computers, and there are so many videos which are very effective to give basic knowledge about computers. And it took almost a month to gain enough knowledge about the computers and about the parts which I wanted to assemble as a gaming computer. But I didn't let it know my brother that I was trying to do something like that, because it could create a hope in his mind, and if I didn't able to make that computer, then it will broke his courage. So I was trying it by myself. But after 1 month, I gained enough courage and I ordered the parts via online, which were much cheaper than an actual computer, and the parts from a retail shop. And after 2 days, I got the parts from online, and they all are very good. After the next day, as I can remember, I started doing the processing, and that was very much tough, I can say, because installing the CPU, the processing of the motherboard, they are so tough for me, because if I made any mistake, then it could hamper the computer and can damage the whole processors. So, but fortunately, after it took almost the full day to me to assemble the computer, but fortunately I was succeeded in this to assemble a computer as a gaming computer, and I can't say that joyous news no bound, because after I gave my brother this computer, I can't explain his reaction and how much he was happy that time. That time I was felt like that I had done a great thing, and I was succeeded by the help of a book and also the developing technologies.
Okay, thank you. This is the end of the part 2. Let's move on to the part 3. What sort of things can neighbors do to help each other?
As we are all social beings, we can't live alone in a society. So neighbors can do a lot of things to help each other, like for helping each other in their bad times, also in good times, because a neighbor as well as friend can be there beside you in good and bad time also, and they can help you mentally, physically, financially. Many times we need the mental support, which is much bigger than the other things, because we don't understand what to do and what to not, and we get that advice, and we are always want to get some advice from our neighbors. And also many times we don't have that much ability to have buy or anything which needs a lot of money, then we can borrow it from our neighbors. And obviously as a social being, we in cultural, in personal, in professional problem, we can get help from our neighbors.
Okay. How well do people generally know their neighbors in our country?
I can say in our country, actually, we live together in a community, and there are so many people of different religions here. And except the culture of our Western countries, in our country, we love to live together, and we always love to enjoy the all cultural programs together. In our country, we don't need any social media to communicate with each other. We visit our neighbor's place and our relatives often, and we love to have a good relationship with our neighbors and our relatives.
How important do you think it is to have a good neighbor?
As I told already, we are social being, so need a good neighbor is always important to live in a society, because it depends on that person, that how our mentality is developing. Because a friend with negative behavior can affect us, our behavior a lot. They can create a bad negativity outside surrounding us, and a positive behavior can make us charm and can motivate us to doing any kind of work, and always encourage us to doing any kind of activities. Also, they can help in our bad times, in our good times, and we can if we're celebrating a function or any occasion, we can't celebrate alone. That time we need our neighbors, and we have to live together to in any situation, for any activities or any functions. So have a good neighbor is always important.
Which facilities are important to people living in cities?
City life is much better than a rural life, as in my opinion, because city life has many facilities, including the roads, the transport system, the accommodation system, and it has also a good education system, I can say. Because obviously nowadays in our rural areas or in village areas, there are so many schools are developing. Our government is trying to make so many schools, are trying to give so many facilities, but as our requirement that are not enough, to live in a village, and city life has so many facilities like the shopping malls, the complexes, and the availability of food items, also the products which we use in our regular basis. And obviously we can develop our skills in city life.
Do you think that children should always go to school nearest to where they live?
It depends on individual's mentality actually. Some parents want to have their children near to them, and some parents want to give admitted them in schools which are much developing, no matter with they're in their locality or outside their locality. Because in many times it happens that a good school is not available in our locality. For that we need to send our children outside, but it has some disadvantages also. Children don't get enough time to spend with their parents, and they can't develop their skills as a children. Every time a parents behavior and keeping themselves around parents are much important, because they can develop many kinds of activities, mainly the moral values which are much necessary for children, and they can get them mostly from their parents. So I think keeping their children to nearest schools is also important. But if they can't afford, if they can't able to educate, if they can able to admit their children to nearest school as their job holder or anything, then they can send their children to the school which are not in their locality.
Is it easy to shop in the village or in a town?
Both are easy, because shopping is available in town and villages also, but the main fact is all the items are not available in village shops, which are available in town in city shops, because mainly the basic needs, the main items are available in villages. But if we want any unique items or the varieties, then we need to go to the shops which are in cities.
Okay, this is the end of the speaking test. Thank you.
Thank you.